Here's my weapon of choice today. That's not bad, I'll take that. Wee stretch and it'll be alright. Come on Todd, come on! Put the afterburners on. Got a wee party of cows following me this morning. Morning Holly! There we are, wee canny. What a bee! That's the lorry done. Ah, you bastard! Yeah, we're stuck. Morning. Just feeding the animals and I've got a bit of a welding job today. This here, a goose. So here's another part of the discs. Basically there's a shaft that goes in that hole and it was welded down the bottom here. That's the bottom of it, just sheared down there. Must have sheared a while back, but it's just been holding on. Bit of a tricky one. Gonna need to off the other one that's broken, try and chop this base off so I can get into weld here, because I can't weld in here because it's sandwiched together and it wouldn't fit right. So it's a bit of a tricky one, but I'll take this plate off, get it in the workshop and see, grind that off and see where we get to. Right, we've got this. Yeah, it's a weird place to shear. It can't have been right. It can't have been right to start with. Yeah, well, that shaft would have gone into there and it's been welded around there. So that's the end of this shaft. But it can't have been right. But there's no reason for it to shear in there.
Are you going to weld it around there?
No, because that butts up against the collar that this goes through. Right, giving everything a good degrease. 1 for welding and 2 for fitment. Right, we've got this clamped down. Goggles. Big grinder. Should be fine, this. Right, time for the die grinder. Oh. Need to turn the air on. Oh, perfect. Let's see how easily this slots into here. Come on. No, not that easy. There we go. Right, let's go find out where this is meant to be indexed to. Don't know how that's happened. Obviously, slug comes out of there. It's just totally sheared. Don't know how it can shear where it was. This key base to be parallel with these edges. How do I do that accurately? This looks absolutely mental, but I think it's working. So it's indexed in that direction because this is on this flat, so that's fine. Right, now I need to line this edge up with this edge. Yeah, that's good enough for me where it is. Thank God for my ballpark 90. You've coped. Right, crank the power up. All the feeds, all the speeds, and give it a good old blast. I might even preheat it. Right, what the preheat does just means when I weld this and it starts to cool down, it doesn't cool as rapidly because the temperature difference from the weld to the rest of the material isn't as great, because when metal cools quickly it becomes more brittle, so that's why I've preheated it. That's not bad, I'll take that. Just going to do the inside and the outside once more. Right, done. It's ready to go back in. Dad's going to try and buy a washer though, because there's meant to be a washer between this collar and the base here. Obviously when that came off, I think it ended up through the power harrow. So the scraper on it, which is this bit, is goosed, but we'll deal with that another time. Only really need the scraper when it's in wet conditions, which it's not been so far. So hopefully we'll get to the end of sewing and then we'll make some more. Right, Dad's located a washer, but it's fractionally too thick. Also, the internal diameter is fractionally too small. I wish I had my lathe up and running, but I've not sorted that out yet. So I'm going to go at it with a die grinder and see if I can open it up wide enough. We've given up on the washer there. Its diameter's too small and it'll take forever with a die grinder. Kev's just lifting this up a wee bit because we've got this bracket back on. We just need to mount the discs, but there's not a big enough gap there. Scattered tools. There you go, that's it in action. Working. It's missing the washer, but I'm not too worried because we don't move it that often. Alright, job done, but look at that. Crack. Totally through as well. Hunk of junk. There we go, Kev's up and running. He's away to do an end rig up the top there. And then we're swapping to starting sowing oats down in the field down here, and I'm going to go and disc that. First I need to fill up some feeders for the cattle. Here's my weapon of choice today. T7 210. 210 horsepower that stands for. It's 165, which is apparently boosted to 210. Right, we're looking for a station field today, so let's go here. Farm, Globebarn, field. Here we go. Field, select. There's the station. Got my swathing. Have I got a list? Winter wheat, that'll do. That's last year's winter wheat. Cracking on down here. This is probably the lightest land we've got down this bottom end of the field. There was carrots in it a couple of years ago and there was a good crop from it, so quite good ground this. Just breaks up nice, it's loose, it's free, it's easy going. Just in to check the cows and Dad's away over there loading a load of wheat. That's the last load of wheat that's sold, so everything that's left, apart from 50 tonne which we need for the hens, is to sell, which is nice. We've got a bit to sell. So we've maybe got about 20% of the harvest still to sell. There he goes. Thank you very much to Struan. Sent me a pack of Kit Kats and Kev a pack of Kit Kats. Smashing. Kicking on now, Kev's just arrived in the field. He's just marking his boundaries for lifting the drill and dropping the drill, and then he'll start over in that corner and we're putting in oats in this field. New variety of oats this year called Merlin. Traditionally we've grown Firth for lots of years. Is it Firth? Is it Firth? Yeah, Gerald is winter oats. Firth was the spring oats. So these new spring oats are called Merlin. Oats should be a good market next year, well this next harvest coming should be good prices for oats because there's not many in the ground just because the weather was good, so everyone got in with spring barley. Not many people growing oats because wheat and barley is high priced, so we think there'll be a decent shortage there of oats, so that should hopefully benefit us. Find out in 6 months whether that was a good prediction or not. For all the Doug's fans, there she is. She's not feeling too right recently, I don't know what's wrong with her. She's been a wee bit poorly there in the last few days, so I don't know what's wrong with her. You alright, Doug? Just lying on the side of the field next to the tractor because well, my back's a bit dodgy. Wee stretch and it'll be alright. I have to start a sub-channel, CrawfordsFarm Pilates or something. I'm out of the lightest bit, I'm now into some more rougher stuff, so my speed has drastically reduced. It's not very comfortable. They're talking about carbon capture on the radio, what a nonsense. My opinion about all this global warming stuff. They've only looked at the last 100 years, and okay, yes, temperature is rising. But you go back a million years and you look at global cycles, there's graphs on it. There's loads of reports written on it, but you never see them. And there's graphs on the cycles of temperature over the last million years. It can be taken from rock data and things like that. And there's always peaks, and there's always troughs, and there's always peaks. And we're actually in one of the coolest periods of the last million years we've ever had. Okay, yes, it's coming out of that and it's rising again. There's obviously a case for yes, we might be affecting global warming, but you never hear about it's a natural cycle. It should be coming out of a cool period anyway and going up. You never hear any of that. Just stopped for peace there. Just getting going again now. We're sowing oats. Drill's going absolutely smashing. The discs on the front haven't fallen off, so my welding was semi-decent. Get moving again. That was the 4:30 piece. We're arable boys, so we're just out of the winter, so we need to be having our piece quite often. It's cold. Tractor number 3 has just arrived. It's to rain tomorrow, so Dad's just been catching up with the rolling to get everything up to date, so he's not far away. Here's the dog's view. Oh, you've got a dirty window. Sorry, dog. Do you want me to clean the window for you, Dad? I might have a picture when she was just a few months old of her on this seat. Okay, the difference between lovely soil types. Look at me now, sitting here, not bobbling about, fairly relaxed, nice and smooth, and cut to 100 yards that way, trying to sit still. Going the exact same speed, I've set the revs. You can see again, we'll take this field via the poles, so we'll get a tram line 12 metres that way, 12 metres that way. Makes it lovely and easy for the sprayer. I'm not asked for a wee while, but if you can, click subscribe. It's totally free, it helps the channel, it helps me out, so if you can do that, I'd appreciate it. I'll give you a few seconds to go and click the red button while I just say hello to Doug. Right, we're going to wait, Doug. If you've already subscribed, then while the other people are subscribing, click the thumbs up. Have they done it? Have they done it, Doug? Think they've done it? Hope so. Cheers if you have. I quite possibly might never see the dog again. There's a hare. Stay. Go on in, get it. Come on, dog, come on. Put the afterburners on. Oh, there's two. Oh, she's keeping going with the same one. See, hare's rapid. This will be my last pass because it's going to rain tonight. And generally speaking, that ground will remain sticky for a while versus the ploughed ground. You get onto that ground a lot quicker after rain than you can on freshly broken up ground. So Kev should get most of the way up here. I've gone just beyond the poles. We can finish the poles tonight, hopefully. So when we get going again, we won't need to worry about the ground being sticky because we'll be straight onto ploughed ground. Ignore those two, they don't exist. Dad's on his way with a bag of seeds for Kev there. There he goes. Right, this is needing a wash. It's clarity. Does it look any better? It's blue anyway, you can tell it's blue now. It's not exactly professionally detailed, but it's cleaner than me anyway. Bloody hell. Great wee thing. Just handy, so handy. Just whip it out, quick power wash, put it away. You don't need to lug about a big petrol thing that strips the paint off anything you touch. And the wee soap nozzle thing on it is great. It basically does a similar-ish job to a really high pressure one because you get a soap on it and it penetrates in and loosens it all off first. So, good handy thing that. A wee bit of water came in the seal there. That's clean. That's clean. First time those two have been clean in a while. Dad washed that the other week and that has not been washed in a while, I must say. At least I washed it. Kev's just down there, he's just about finishing up. It's about, I don't know, 7:30 just now. So he'll have a bag of seed, he'll try and get up to the poles, hopefully. Joiners have trussed up to the top there. One for weatherproofing the ceiling, and also we're going to put sheets on it, same as that. So they're going to go in there, smashing. But due to Grenfell Tower, the fire that happened down in London, that has to have a new specific type of cladding on it. You can understand in big projects like a tower, but on a timber building, to have cladding on it basically means if you're standing out there and the whole thing's burning on the inside, you can't tell it's on fire. Seems like an odd rule. They've obviously had a blanket rule for everything that everything now has to follow, and they've not worked out the specific situations now where it's not needed. But anyway, we'll have to do it. Just been playing football. Anyway, cheers for watching. See you in the next video. If you're enjoying the videos, please subscribe and please like. It always helps. Good night.